Welcome to Beauty for Ashes. This is a space for women who know that cancer is more than a diagnosis and healing is more than the end of treatment. Here we talk about the parts no one prepare you for, the fear that lingers after chemo ends, the trauma that doesn't disappear when the scans are clear, the grief, the growth, the faith, and the rebuilding. This podcast is for women that are still fighting, for the woman who survived but is still healing, and for the woman learning how to live again. We believe God truly gives beauty for ashes, but the journey from ashes to beauty takes from the beauty. It does not take from the beauty. It does not take from honesty and courage and the community. We are not weak for struggling. You are not broken because you're still healing. And your story matters more than you know. Your story really matters. Take a deep breath. We're going to take a deep breath. This is a safe space. This is Beauty for Ashes. Hello. Jeanette Gregory here is your host. I'm so excited tonight because we were coming on as Total Woman, but we changed it to Beauty for Ashes. And this is our celebration podcast, a reunion of women that have been on the podcast. So one of our first guests is getting ready to come on, Miss Regina Jones. Hi. Oprah. I call her Oprah. You know what? I was sitting here. I said, girl, just go ahead and bring her out because I'm so nervous. I didn't even know what I was saying.
You were wonderful.
Tonight's going to be a good night. All night's a good night.
Be a good night.
Back again with you guys. And we're going to talk about what have we all been doing since our last podcast.
Oh, my goodness.
So, Regina, tell them about Chemo Glow.
Chemo Glow. Well, Chemo Glow is my personal podcast. It's my project that I've been doing ever since I decided that the glow doesn't define me. I define the glow. I first want to thank you for bringing me on because it's been almost a year since I've been live and in front of a camera as far as a podcast. So thank you so much. Last year was a rough year for me. So I'm just happy to be back. But Chemo Glow is my thing. Because of everything that you have done, I am here. Because of you, I am here. And we all know that our journeys, as some people say it, it's so different for everyone. And if people don't know, when I say because of you, I am here, it is because that you came to one of my events when we were doing coffee in the Charlotte area, and you talked about, getting your mammogram. And I was one of those women that was like, I'm going to get my mammogram and I'm going to call you. And sure enough, at 36, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Had no idea. Had you not been up there challenging us, saying, hey, no one's listening, I would have waited till I was 40 to do the mandatory, mammogram, really pay attention to those boobs. But at 36, while planning a wedding and doing all things, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I'm so happy to be on your podcast, be on your stage, be in front of you, because I learned through you that the glow doesn't define me. I define the glow. And that's what Chemo Glow is about.
Yes. Well, it's so good to see you tonight, Regina. One of my special people. Did you tell them how long ago?
Oh, my goodness. It's going on 15 years in April. I will be married 15 years. I was married on April 3rd, and on April 19th, I was on the table. So I was only like a wife for like 16 days before I became a patient, and my husband was now my caregiver. And I moved to a new city, got married, did all those things, and started, like, you talk about the grief process. You grieve your diagnosis, you grieve what you used to be, you grieve what you don't know. And even
Wow.
now, I still grieve some of those things that are 15 years ago because people think once you're, once you're back, your hair grows back, or you decide to do whatever, your treatment is done, or you decide not to do treatment, that you're okay. But you still have the side effects and the other things that go with this because you're still going to get older. Life's still going to go on. And what you did to save your life still affects your life.
That is so good. And our other guest is, and we're all just going to sit here and talk tonight, just like we're sitting in Regina's living room, or our special guest, Jamisha, just like we're sitting at lunch. So I'm going to bring our special guest in, and this is not all about breast cancer.
Hmm.
This is any cancer. This is any sickness,
Yes.
any disease,
Hmm.
because women go through so much. And sometimes I think the pressure of who we are and what we do causes us to take on many diseases and high blood pressures. So it's good when we band to come to just talk about the journey. So why don't we just bring our next guest in? Hi, Jamisha.
Hello, ladies.
Hello, hello. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too, Regina. Hello, Jeanette, aka my inspiration.
Hello. Tell us what you've been doing since the last time we met.
Well, since the last time we met, I have been advocating and testifying and sharing my story around ovarian cancer. That's my life. Um, I know the Lord healed me of ovarian cancer for a time such as this. He said, I shall not die, but I shall live to declare the works of the Lord. And I take that literally. So I have a mandate on my life to declare the works of the Lord. And wherever I am, whomever I come in contact with, they know what the Lord has done for me. And so that has allowed me to create new friends, that has allowed the cancer thriving community to grow. It has added new women to my prayer list, and have given them hope that if the Lord did it for me, surely He can do it for you. So that's what I've been doing. On tomorrow, believe it or not, it will be my 12th year anniversary of going to the emergency room. And
Right.
yeah, and on January the 30th, 2014, I was having chest pains.
Mhm.
And it wasn't chest pains that was just like, gut wrenching or 911 chest pains. It was, I need some Rolaids, I need some Tums, and when I take that, I'm going to feel a lot better. Well, I took those at 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I was still having those same chest pains. So long story short, I went to the emergency room. And I came out of there with the doctor telling me that I had a large tumor pressing against my left kidney. And I was having the chest pains because the cancer had already metastasized to my chest, my lungs, my pelvic, my abdomen. The cancer mass itself was pressing against my left kidney, cutting off a large portion of my urine flow to the point that I had to have surgery to get a kidney stent. Then on February the 20th, I started my first chemo treatment. Instead of it being kidney cancer, it ended up being ovarian cancer. And that's when my journey started. So tomorrow marks 12 years that I
Wow.
went to the emergency room to find out that you about to be in a fight for your life, girl. Put your war clothes on. Go ahead and get the warriors lined up. Get them in place. The Bible says, call for the elders of the church. Pray for those that are
Wow.
sick, anointing them with oil, and the prayer of faith shall heal them and they shall recover. If they committed sins, they shall be forgiven. The effectual, fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much. I started calling for the prayer warriors. I started calling for the elders of the church. And then my godmom introduced me to that one right there.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
Celebrate Life Old Age. She beat cancer in 2008, and she had to beat it because I would need her 6 years later. Thank you, Jesus.
Right.
Exactly.
I would need her 6 years later. And she called me, and we have been two peas in a pod, beating the crap out of cancer ever since.
Oh, yeah.
Every since.
Yes.
Jeanette,
Right.
Jeanette, Jeanette, let me tell you, it is because of you that a lot of us are standing.
Yes.
It is because of you. I can call you and say, hey, I know someone in Charlotte. Can I connect you? And you don't just call them, you show up at the appointment. And they called me talking about the lady in pink with the car that showed up. My husband sit here, Sakara. When you did that for me, you showed up at the appointment. Where's she at, Regina? Where's she at?
That's what she do.
But ladies, you say, Jeanette, what I have done. But over the years that I've known you two ladies, I think of so much that you all have done. And we sort of just band together and we do
Yeah.
it as one. Like
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
this podcast, I really did not want to do a podcast when I first started back a few years ago. I was like, Regina interviewed me on Chemo Glow, which is a wonderful podcast.
Mhm.
And,
you.
I call her my Oprah. She has that radio voice. So I was like, I don't think I can do it because, to be honest, I don't like sitting before a camera talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it makes me nervous even when I stand in the pulpit and bring a message. And many
Mm-hmm.
people say, I don't believe that. Well, you best believe it. I'd be so nervous.
Mhm.
So the things that you and Jamisha, the things that we've done together, and there are so many more Jamishas, there are so many more Reginas. It's
Yes.
hundreds of them.
Yes.
And my life has truly been blessed knowing you ladies.
Thank
And
you.
And
mine
the
too.
best really
Yeah.
is yet to come.
It
That is
is.
not a cliche.
Mm-mm.
When women go through any kind of cancer, any kind of sickness, any kind of disease, and they look at a Regina Jones, knowing her story, because I was there from the beginning
Yes.
when she wasn't using pleasant words.
Oh,
Now,
not at all.
Jamisha quotes scriptures. When I first met Regina, she was cussing
All
because
day.
she
I was
people
was
did
so
not know how
mad.
to treat her.
Wow. Wow.
She
You was so
found
mad.
out it was.
Mhm.
Tell
Wow.
us a little bit about that, Regina. You were
Well,
preparing to get married.
when I was again at 36, I met my husband in Hawaii. Okay, Hawaii at a wedding. So this whole fairy tale, everything was going on, and me having to leave the place that I called home at the time. All the people, my business, everything that was going on there, the community. And when I met Jeanette, and she was literally just speaking to the crowd. But I now know that God put you in my life for a reason. Because when you met me, oh, I was a spitfire, still am, but in a different way.
Thank you.
And she said, and she allowed me to be who I was in that moment. Because
Mhm.
you can imagine, my husband and I, we're up here trying to plan a family. We're doing all these things. We had just paid the photographer. And we were really in the throes of everything. Yeah, I had my dress. And when they called me, when I went there, they were like, oh, it's just calcification. Do you drink a lot of coffee? Do I drink coffee? I got 3 coffee shops. Yeah, I drink coffee. And they were like, you're just too young. I'm like, okay. But they kept saying that you're just too young and your hair's too pretty. Really? Really? And I remember
Yes.
walking in there and I told my husband, I had a gut feeling, right? And the oncologist walked in and I seen oncologist, and the way the news was delivered was horrible.
Ah.
You know, she was like, you have cancer. And I looked at her and she was like, "You didn't know you had cancer?" If I knew I had cancer, ma'am, if I knew it, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So it started out that way. And then when they tell you, they walked us out the back door through a garage. I guess they didn't want the people to see you crying walking out the front. So literally, I walked out the back door in darkness. In pure darkness. We got in the car and I had a hair appointment that day. And my honey was like, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to go get my hair done." Because the person that was doing my hair was Kim Summers. She was a great friend of my brother's who has since passed away. And I just needed her touch to be closer to my brother. She knew me from Fayetteville. She knew me from back in the day. She seen me grow up and I hadn't even talked to my family. And then you think about your fiance that's hearing this. Fiance.
Wow.
That is hearing this news. And he doesn't even know how to take it, but he protected me from all. And even with my dress, when they called me, I was like, I called my girl Cassandra. I said, if you don't get that dress, I'm gonna cut it up. Because that's the mood I was in. I was like, how did I go from this to this?
Wow.
And then all those people, go ahead.
Excuse me. When you just said that, you said that's where you were right then. You really have to meet people where they are.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You have to know how to minister. I hear so many people say, you're just ministering to someone who has cancer. No, it's a very unique way to do it. Because the wrong person could have met Regina and she would not be who she is today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And thank goodness we were going through premarital counseling before you get married. So we were already talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like literally, my house was going on the market. We were doing all these things, and I said I wanted to get married in Charlotte. And I wanted a certain pastor to marry me, the one that was counseling me. We had already got our marriage license. I called everybody on April 1st, April Fool's Day. Hey, I'm getting married. And it was a pastor of a church that asked if they could do Bible study in our coffee house, in my coffee shop. And that's who they got to let me use his church. I had no idea. And then, I went to Dina and Eric Bryce's house. They picked me up in a Jaguar. They put that dress on. Kim did my hair, and it was all paid for. But the very next day, I was getting my treatment plan.
Wow.
And to be in two different cities and having to switch over to UNC and be an advocate of your care. That's why I do what I do right now. That's why I was so big at UNC with being an advocate, being on the Patient and Family Advisory Board. I'm now with Healing Pines Respite, who give respite to women, all women going through all types of cancer, not just one, because what we don't get, cancer is with us. Like you said, it's sitting right there. Sometimes it's in the back seat, sometimes it's in the rear view mirror. But when you get that phone call to talk about, hey, you're going through this, can you help me? It is now sitting right beside you again. It doesn't have the same hold. But it's sitting right beside you again.
That's right.
Jamisha, I was going to ask a question.
Sure.
How do you use your story to heal others? Is that possible?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was just going to chime in because we were talking about, like the chocolate rose ball, last year. It was a purple table over there, a white table over there, a yellow table over there, a teal table over there, a pink table over there, a blue table over there, a light blue table over there, because it wasn't just for pink. It wasn't just for blue. It wasn't just for teal, right? It was for cancer. And so Jeanette and I would often talk about how we're not going to get caught up on colors because the enemy wants us to start going and competing against each other concerning cancer, right? When cancer doesn't have a color, cancer don't care about a color. Cancer comes to steal you, kill you, and destroy you. right? And so then we begin to talk about how cancer can come in all kind of forms, right? It can
Mhm.
come in depression. It can come in stress. It can come in an aneurysm. It can come in sugar diabetes. It can come in high blood pressure. I mean, you know what I mean? That's how cancer comes. So it's so interesting that you asked me that, because just today, on my job, I told the Lord yes. And
Mm.
whatever yes looks like, God, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And if it means that this door closes and another one opens because I said yes, so be it. Because I know that that door was supposed to close and this one was supposed to open. So I'm sitting in my office, and the young lady began to tell me that she hadn't been feeling well. And so um, she caught my attention because her phone case was teal. And
Mm.
of course, when I saw that, that opens the door, right? Because the color for ovarian cancer is teal, right? And so she said, you know what? This is hard for me to talk about. She said, but I feel that I'm in a safe space. I feel like I can talk to you about this. She said, when I was 19, and this girl is in her 40s now, she said, I was diagnosed with AIDS. Then after that, she said, and then a few years after that, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer.
Mm.
So I've shared with her what the Lord has done for me. And Jeanette, to your point, it gave her a safe space
Mhm.
to share with
Right.
me. I mean, because if you share with the average person that you've had AIDS, you feel like you're going to be judged, right? No, who am I to judge her? But she understood that it was the Lord Jesus Christ who has healed her. She kept glorifying God. She kept getting tissues out the box, wiping her tears. She said, these are happy tears. She said, I thought I was supposed to come here for something else, but this is what I came. This is what I was supposed to come here for. And I said, and the same thing with me. I said, you think I blessed you? No, baby, you blessed me.
Mhm.
And so again, to declare the works of the Lord, and so I do understand why I am living. I understand why cancer could not take me out. I get
Wow.
it, because I needed to be there for that young lady today. And then I had another couple come into my office, and again, you open the door, I'm going to go in, only to find out that they have a good friend, and y'all pray for Betsy, who is currently beating ovarian cancer,
Mm.
currently beating ovarian cancer. you know. And so I gave them something to go give Betsy some hope. And they brought me Betsy's name, call her name up to the Father.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So yes, my my life and my story is a testament every day to help somebody to know that God, you are a healer. You are Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals.
Mm. I tell you, you get those phone calls or they feel like they're in that safe space because they are, and
Yeah,
they will start talking.
they will.
And it's just like how you meet somebody, they walk the walk, they talk the talk like Miss Jeanette. You
Uh-huh.
already know. So I knew because I was in a different space and I
Yeah.
knew that she was the person for me. Dina
Yeah.
knew that she was the person for me.
Yeah.
She's the one
Yeah.
that connected us.
Mm-hmm.
And for someone to share with you the
Mm-hmm.
ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, and you can
Yeah.
just be there
Yeah.
regardless of what is coming out of their mouth. You're
Right.
not judging like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening, right? Because not
Yes.
a lot of people listen. Oh, cancer. And
Right.
it's so true, like the pinks, the blues, there's nothing pretty in pink when you're going through this. But
Right.
I remember going through radiation, and there was a book there that you would write in, people write their notes. I didn't know there was a war out there when it came to the colors.
Yeah.
When it
Yes.
came to this
Yes.
pink
Yes.
lung cancer, my mother died of lung
Right.
cancer, right? And everybody kept bringing her pink. She said, if you don't stop bringing me pink, or I
Yeah.
had a dear friend who passed away of lung cancer, and they said, well, did you smoke? And I remember what she said. The only thing you need to get lung cancer is to have lungs. Instead of asking me if I smoked or anything, how about ask me
Right,
how
Right.
I'm doing, what I need, where are
right.
you at?
That's
But
right.
there's a judgment in there. There's a shame
Yeah,
in lung cancer.
Right.
There's a shame in breast cancer because of the focus of the breast. There's a shame in ovarian cancer.
yeah,
Like, where is this coming
Right.
from?
yeah. It's a trick of the
Yeah.
enemy to get us off focus. It's a trick of the enemy to keep us from praying and covering each other. There's power in intercession, and when the enemy can
Yes.
bring division, you know what I mean? And he's sneaky, he's cunning, and when
Yep.
he can bring division. My mom also beat lung cancer, you
Mm.
know, but I didn't know that cancer had different colors until I was diagnosed. I thought all cancers were pink.
Right. You know,
Yeah.
we have the word safe space floating across the screen. You know, I love words.
Yeah,
That's what's missing. It is that safe space or
It
right.
is.
place.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes women won't share what's going on because they don't feel safe.
Right,
Mhm.
right, right.
And you have to really know how to deal with these women. You
Mhm.
just can't sit down and just ask them anything.
No.
A lot of times people ask me, how do you get women to say so much? I give them a safe space.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right.
What is a safe space to you, Jamisha?
A safe space to me is a place where, you know, the the best way I can explain it. I'm a minister of the gospel, right? Um, but I'm human, nor am I perfect.
Mm.
And even preachers have to have a place, a safe space where they can let their hair down, if you will,
Oh, yeah.
where they can speak their hearts and not be judged. You know what I mean? A safe space where they can be vulnerable, right? And open their hearts and share their hearts. That's a safe space to me. Um, Discerning, right? Um, where that safe space is. Who is that safe space for me? You know what I mean? That's important because we all need a safe space. Don't judge me. Allow me to be me. Allow me to do me, right? And then if it means you come down to meet me where I am, just to bring me back up. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a safe space, where I don't feel like I'll be judged for what I say, for the anger, Regina. I
Mhm.
don't judge me. You understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I mean, you don't know my story, right? You definitely don't know my glory. You know,
Mm.
you
Oh, yeah.
don't know what it took for me to get to where I am. You know,
Exactly.
so everybody deserves a safe space. You
Yeah.
know, so
Now
a
that's
safe space is definitely a place where you can be vulnerable and be okay with being vulnerable.
Yeah. It's
Hmm.
nothing
and
like it.
the thing about breast cancer is so
Mm.
obvious. It's so public. There are
Mhm.
sicknesses that people can go through and you will never ever know that they were sick.
Mhm.
But when we go through breast cancer, even ovarian, Jamisha, you were bald.
Hmm.
And they either think you got AIDS or you got breast cancer.
Oh yeah.
And it's a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of ignorance. That's why what we will be doing here on this podcast many times is to bring information
Hmm.
and destroy some of the ignorance because even Jamisha was saying, like she's a minister of the gospel. I am a minister, and I also uh, a chaplain. That
Mm.
doesn't mean that I don't need a safe space. I don't need
That's
Mhm.
someone that will listen.
yeah.
And a lot of times when you're in the spotlight and people know that you are sick, it's almost like they hold it against you and make you feel like you're not even worthy.
Say it again.
You're not worthy to do what you do because you're sick. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like, where was your power when you got sick? So I remember when the church that I was attending, I was on the prayer team. So when I went back, and I'm still sitting on the front row, which I shouldn't have been up there, and I'm bald. Everybody knew I went through cancer. It was me that sat in the back. So my pastor asked, I said, why would anybody want me to pray for them? And I'm standing here bald as a baby's butt and sunken eyes, looking like I'm sick. He said, that's the reason I want you back out there. So we have to be careful how we treat people.
Right.
We do.
Very
That's what Chemo Glow is about. Like, the glow doesn't define me, I define the glow. I took very little pictures, but there is one picture I have with you, Jeanette, when I came back to Charlotte to see everybody. And people be like, oh, you look good. Now I look a hot mess, but okay, this wig cricket or something going on. And I had to define who I am. And I can only do that in a safe space. And I wouldn't go around people that I wasn't comfortable with. When I say I wasn't comfortable with, not comfortable with because it was because that I didn't feel safe in that space. Like, I should be able to be mad, be sad, be happy. Two things can exist at the same time. One person was like, well, I don't, one person told me the reason why I got cancer because I went and got a mammogram. So the old Regina, who's still there, had to tell her, ma'am, you are misinformed. But that's why she told me. And I was, and at some point I used to be the shock person. Like, I used to be like, well, let me cut off your two and then we can talk. Let me let you see these Edward Scissorhands that has happened over here, because nobody knows your space, your place. I'm still like, I have a surgery coming up because of something. And I'm like, I'm gonna be back in that space, but I also got my safe space, which is my husband. And that was my first safe space. I could cry, I could scream, I could say nothing at all. But then I had to start to think, how much do I put that on my husband? He didn't even let my twin sister come up here. And my twin was like, I'm coming up there. He was like, no, you're not right now. Because I asked for that privacy and he respected that. And what happens is, when you're in that safe space, people have to respect how you feel in that moment. And that's why I try to do with everybody who calls me. Every time I get a text message, email, I need to respect what is safe for them, whether I agree with it or not. Jeanette and I had a conversation about medication. We had a conversation about what tamoxifen does, what all these other drugs do. And she told me her truth, and it helped me be okay with my decision that I was going to make, because everybody's walk is not the same. But I know one thing, when I see that Chemo Glow, or when they say the word journey, or those little keywords, or the teal, the pink, the blue, the orange, you're like, wait a minute.
That's it.
That's it. Go ahead.
And I'm sorry. My initial reaction was different. To God be the glory. So when the doctor came in, and he said the second time, he said, we're going to have to do a CT scan to rule out a tumor. A part of me went into warrior mode. My anger was directed to, how in the world you think you're going to come and give me cancer? Oh, no. I went into fight mode, like literally fight mode. And so my family and my church community at the time, they were my safe place. They allowed me to still be me. They allowed me to still do what gave me strength. You know what I mean? And so when he did come in and he gave us a diagnosis that we believe you have a large tumor present against your left kidney. My mom was there, my sister was there, my former pastor. his son, and my ex-husband. We were all there. And I had already told them, I said, I don't know what the doctor's going to come in and say, but you're welcome to ask any questions that you want, because I will not be able to answer the questions. I won't know. And so sure enough, he came in, and, there was some tears on one side of the room. There was praying on one side. There's crying on one side. But when it was all said and done, we all put our war clothes on and realized it's time to fight, and that's how I know I won.
Right.
Because I had to make a conscious decision, and don't get it twisted. I mean, there are times that I didn't feel like getting up. I didn't feel like going to chemo. I didn't feel like talking to nobody. I didn't feel like answering the phone, but I know I had to keep going. Teaching Bible study was my strength. I had to teach Bible study. And there were times I couldn't even have enough strength to stand up and teach Bible study. They would put a table and a chair so I could sit down and still teach Bible study. You know what I mean? And so I was tasked with, they got to see me win. They got to see me beat cancer. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because when they see me beat cancer and they see me win, they'll know that, God, you did it for her, you'll do it for me.
Thank you.
They knew my story, right? From the beginning to the end, they went through it with me. And my mom was my protector. She sent message to the church, Jamisha don't need no visitors today. But she didn't tell me, right? I got up and got me a good shower, changed my little hospital gown, put on my Dolce & Gabbana perfume, brushed my little peach fuzz.
You knew you was gonna have some visitors.
Nobody came to visit me that Sunday. Nobody.
But Jamisha, I remember when I came home from the hospital, about the first day, I think I told the story, and my girls gave me my bath and, lotioned me down. I was like, this will never happen. I mean, gave me a bath, lotioned me down, put my clothes on me because I really couldn't move my arms and all that stuff. And then I had some visitors. So Eric had rented this big boy chair because I actually slept in that chair. And that's something good for women that are watching. It hurts to lay on your back when both your breasts sit up. So I was sitting in the chair. So by the time my visitors came, my girls had a seat at the back of the chair. I knew they were back there, but later on, this lady said, if I didn't know you, I would have been scared. And them girls was looking like, y'all got 5 more seconds and you're going to get up out of here. And I didn't know that, but they are the ones that kept people away.
Yeah.
I
didn't have a lot of visitors. We didn't have people running in, and sometimes you can heal in a peaceful quietness. Now, some people heal with everybody around them. Anytime I'm in a healing process, I choose peace. I choose quiet. I choose music. I choose no strangers.
Yes.
Anybody that comes around me, I got to know you.
Yes.
So I can imagine. Plus, they were both nurses back. They were nurses then, and this lady said they was looking like two gangster daughters. Like, you should shame yourself visiting somebody on the first day. So I don't do that, y'all.
I love that, because when people think they're showing up for you, you feel like you got to be present and show up for them. So your peace is disturbed. I still remember when my husband's cousin had a layover in the area, and she came to our house. He asked, can she come? And I'm like, yeah, it's a long layover. When I opened up that door and she seen me, it was all over her face. She said she don't recall, but she was taken back because that chemo glow was real. It was real. I was looking like nobody. I looked like nobody belonged to me, and I didn't belong to nobody.
On the
And
screen now, we have creating a
create a
new
new
vision
vision
for
for life.
life.
Love it.
And before we close, because no, we just sit and talk, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to have women on the show, and we're just going to talk. We're not going to try to make nothing sound
Mhm.
over the head,
Mhm.
because that's not the way I minister. I
Mhm.
minister as elementary as I can, because I'm talking about somebody's life.
Mhm.
And I talk to so many women, and like Regina said, when they ask me, did it hurt? Yes, it hurt.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't it hurt?
Mhm.
You know, but I try to be as honest as possible. My truth may not look like somebody else's truth, but we're going to talk about briefly creating a new vision for life.
Mhm.
Regina,
Mhm.
how did you create a new vision? Because I know you don't own the Java, the coffee houses.
Yeah, the job be.
Briefly about that. Yes.
Well, my husband said, "Who can say that they beat cancer and did this and they did that?" I
Mm.
created a new vision for my life simply because my best friend, who was my brother, passed away. And then all I seen was sickness and then death. And then my father got sick and he passed away. And all I seen was sickness and death. And then my mother got sick and she passed away. And all I
Mm.
seen was sickness and death.
Yes.
So when I got sick, I was determined then that y'all not gonna be wearing no black dresses. Like someone actually bought their black dress
Mhm.
before I even went to my first chemo treatment. And I
Wow.
decided that I'm gonna create what my life would look like. Everybody says the new normal. Nah, no, no, no. I like some of the things that I was doing. So I'm gonna recreate that in different ways. And I'm
Mhm.
still working with the community. I'm still doing things through my podcast, through American Cancer Society, through Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, to Healing Pines, to UNC, where I can advocate for care, better
Yeah.
care, life insurance, everything that you need. I am picking up that phone. So I'm creating my new vision, not just then, but now. Like I've
Mhm.
been off for 6 weeks. I was supposed to have surgery on the 31st. It was
Right.
rescheduled and I still took off those 6 weeks. I have
Wow.
twin
Mhm.
girls who are 9 going on 9. I'm glad they still acting like they 9. I have a lovely husband. He's buy him a whole new motorcycle because I finally said, yes, you can have one after 15 years. And I've decided to take this time for me. I'm
Mhm.
listening to my husband and I am being selfish.
Mm.
And there's nothing wrong with that because if I can be a better person, then I can show up better for you. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm creating right now. I am pouring into me, and that means that everyone beside me, behind me, and around me will benefit from that. So that's where I'm at. I'm creating that new vision of life, and let me tell you,
Yes.
it's sweet even in the darkest days.
Awesome.
Jamish,
Yes. Um, so I am not only a big advocate against cancer. I am also a big advocate against stress. Um, I can tell you down to dates the stressful things that I was going through when I was diagnosed with cancer. I can tell you down to dates how a pinpoint tumor grew to the size of a banana in 4 months due to the stress that I was going through. So, as I share my testimony, um, and people open up to me, I am concentrating now on helping them to get to the root, right? Where is the stress at, and what are you doing about it? You know, and allowing them to know that you don't have to stay in that stressful place, right? I I learned the hard way. Please learn from me and don't learn the hard way. Um, stress don't come from God. That's not from God. So recognize where it's coming from, you know, and what it's doing to you and what it's doing to your body. Ongoing, it's going to kill you.
Mm.
It's going to kill you. That's what stress was sent to do. And so, so along with advocating for cancer, I am really, really going hard against stress. And I mean, when I say going hard, I mean anything or anybody that brings it, it has to go. Period.
Bye.
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 Because you don't mean me any good.
None.
So that didn't come from God, you know. And so I learned that from cancer, and I don't want nobody else to go through it, you know. So recognize what it is. It is really not hard to recognize. You might not want to see it for what it is, but at the end of the day, when you know what's stressing you out and what's not, right? And you might think that, but I can't let it go. You better, or it's gonna kill you. You know. And then I am also going to do better this year with getting items up to the cancer center for ovarian cancer, up to the gynecologic, not only all gynecologic cancers, if you will. I mean, from ovarian to cervical to uterus to vaginal to vulvar. I mean, all gynecologic cancers. Exactly. Because what I noticed that when I was looking for me a cute hat, you know, or something, you know, it was not available. It's not easy to come by. So, and I learned that from Jeanette too, you know, taking gifts and dropping off gifts and showing love. I mean, you know, not just talking about it, not just saying it, but love is an action word. You know, ministry is an action word. And so, really getting back out there in the field and giving out, you know, items. My sister, she's amazing at making bookmarks. And on the bookmarks, on one side, we have healing scriptures. Literally, these are the scriptures I prayed over my life, you know. And then on the other side, because ovarian cancer is a silent killer, you have symptoms, you know. But then, you know, being open to minister to any kind of sickness, you know, sort of healing.
And Jeanette, before we get off here, because I mentioned Healing Pine Respite, and you guys are talking about stress. Well, we are doing a respite day for women who's gone to any type of cancer. There have to be 2 years diagnosed out, but we'll be in Ballantyne. We're going to go to the Ballantyne Spa there, and it's a whole day. Everything's paid for. So if you know any women, we still have 3 spots. You go to Healing Pines Respite, you put in the application, and then we're going to be at Grandover on March 17th. We'll be at Grandover. That's another day. We're looking for 10 women. And again, any type of cancer on the 17th, they can even reach out to me and I can help them. And our girl, Sakara, she is now helping me do this so I can do it in Ballantyne. So we can do it at Grandover. We did it at Rock Barn. We do it here at Umstead. We do it at the Hillsborough Spa. And you talk about stress. People can't step away from it. That's all they hear. So let Healing Pines Respite give you respite, where we can actually pay for everything. That's your spa treatment, your day there, and your lunch. And our 2-day is in.
Whenever you get that to me, because I'm going to have Sakara on this show, on this podcast. That's another person I met through Regina. And even before we close today, talking about creating a new vision for life, it's one thing about cancer. For some people, not all people, because some people land on feet of, I'm disappointed, I'm discouraged, I'm still hurting and all that, not making light of it. Then you find some women that just land on a whole new set of feet. When they landed, I mean, Lisa, we had her on, and that Lisa did some of everything. Since she went through cancer, I was talking to her the other day. I see many things. I see the different things that Jamisha has done from day one. I see all the things that you've done, even myself. And we can't sit and even pay attention to what people have to say about how do you do so many things? Why do you do so many things? If they had to go through what even the three of us went through, and you come out and you don't know what joy, peace, happiness, love, giving, and all that is, there's something wrong. I do so many things until sometimes I hate to even tell people what I do. Because, I've always been an author. I don't talk about it. I just write the books. I just write quotes. Started Celebrate Life 08. So what happened, and with my church, we did the 21-day fast. And it ended last week, Monday of this week. I have never fasted like that. I'm looking at my little face here in the camera, look a little slender here. I stayed on with that fasting, praying, built a prayer room, still working on it. My husband, thank God for Eric, out in my Celebrate Life house in my backyard, there, a prayer room. I love being out there every day, got heaters out there and everything, listening to worship music. I got my prayer boards with everybody's name on the board. I didn't forget nobody's name. This is new for me.
That's good.
So we will continue to change, because when I met Regina, she was not in real estate. I remember when she brought it up, I was like, okay.
I just had a closing yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Go through sickness and disease to be all that God has called us to be.
Yes.
And I just thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Jeanette. Jeanette, you see my award up there, my first one, Rose of Faith and Courage Award. My name was still Johnson then. And you gave me it has not moved. When I set up my podcasting room, it is up top where it should be.
Yeah.
Oh, it can freeze up. So we're gonna close now, ladies. Now I love myself some Regina, and I love me some Jamisha.
We love you.
All I gotta do is say, let's do, and she say when. And then Regina, I be calling Regina. She said, you know what? That would be good. Those are kind of ladies that I like around me. I'm not saying I want yes women. I want women that know how to encourage one another. Passion. So we're gonna close now. I enjoyed having you three ladies. And I cannot wait to have you back. This will not be the last podcast. There are many more stories I know that you would like to tell. More stories. So what I would say in closing is, remember this, healing doesn't end when treatment does. It doesn't end. We all three are still healing. Give yourself some grace for the journey. You're still walking. You're still talking. Give yourself some grace. God is still restoring. He's still restoring. Beauty is still rising from the ashes.
Yes.
And your story is still unfolding.
Yes, Lord.
Until the next time, hold on to your hope. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank
you, Jeanette.
until we meet again. And I'll be posting next subject. We'll have different ladies. Anyone in the audience, just inbox me some topics you would like to talk about. We talk about from A to Z, from sex. Some words you can't say no. Oh, I don't know nothing about, they can't say that. You're married, because when you go through cancer, you go through a lot.
You do. Your body changes a lot. Yeah.
Best be married to the right man that can walk beside you all we had to go through. Until the next time, everybody, it's not goodbye. See you later.
See you later. Bye-bye. See you later, ladies.
Bye-bye.